It says on my side that you're muted. Can you hear me?
Hey, everybody.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Jackie here at Evolution Fitness and Wellness. How's everybody this morning? I see the participants coming on. You're probably hearing me, but you're not seeing me. You're actually seeing my pal, my good friend and colleague, Robert Webre, Silverback Self-Defense.
Hey, everybody.
Rob is my go-to guy for anything that has to do with personal protection, personal safety tips, self-defense, license to carry, you name it, he does it when it comes to helping people understand everything from bullying to our topic today, which is scams. You know, it seems like when we're in crisis, Rob, people come out of the woodwork and try to find a way to profit off of these crises things, right? It's crazy.
Definitely. Well, and I don't want to get too much into what I'm going to talk about because I'm going to actually talk about that. But no matter what, we're always going to have situations, and the world is changing so quickly. And you know, just imagine a week and a half ago, the big story was we were canceling the rodeo here in Houston, and how far we've gone from gatherings of 150 to 50 to 15 to 10 to now nobody in less than a week and a half. So this is unprecedented in our time, in our world of the stay at home that we're doing right now. And so we can't keep up with how fast everything is changing. That's kind of why I wanted to do this video with you.
Yeah. And so for our viewers out there today, if you're familiar with the inside of Evolution Fitness and Wellness, you're going to know that Rob is actually sitting up at our front table. You can see part of my fitness sign in the background there. I'm actually in my office. We are doing our best at our new type of social distancing ourselves. And it's really hard because when Rob came in today, like every time I see him, I like that big bear hug, and we weren't able to do that today. So anyway, without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself, and I'm going to let Rob take over. And if you guys have questions, we've enabled the Q&A questions below. So I'm going to monitor that chat box a little bit. And then if I feel like it's something where I need to interrupt Rob, I will unmute myself and I'll do that. Otherwise, I'm just going to let him go through his presentation, and then we'll do some Q&A at the end. But you know, feel free to type those in there at any time. So without any further ado, I'm going into mute mode. Rob, take it away.
All right, thanks, Jackie. First thing I want to say is I want to thank Jackie for always trusting us in what we do. And I want to make sure if you're watching this or if you get to see a recording of this later, you know, we take your self-defense and your personal protection very seriously. You know, we are definitely working all the time to make sure that we're helping people stay safe in this situation. And so making sure that your safety is our #1 priority. We're not going to be able to cover everything that's going on today. I'm going to do the best to cover what's really hot right now. And know this, we can only say scam and talk about scams in a couple of different ways. But know that if there's an update, we will come back to you guys and let you know. So hopefully you can see my PowerPoint. We want to talk about how to keep yourself safe in these uncertain times. And the technology, my PowerPoint is frozen. There you go. All right. Just had a little bit of a lag. So who we are, we're a professional self-defense company. We provide training in multiple areas, like Jackie said. We bring customized self-defense training to you on site, hand-to-hand, firearms, personal protection. That's our normal everyday world. Obviously, in our normal everyday world, we're not doing that today because we're not gathering, we're not getting together. So we're doing stuff virtually as much as possible to still be able to help you and know what's going on. Kind of what Jackie alluded to and what I keep talking to people about is crime's not going to stop. Crime happens all the time. Crime's not going to stop. Criminals are going to still find victims. People are still going to have problems. Stay at home will lead to a surge of online scams, even more than normal. Why? Because we're not going out, but we're spending more time online. Look at what we're doing today with Zoom. Zoom was downloaded more last week than Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and one other one I can't remember, all combined. And the world has changed in how we're doing business. With the limited amount of places that are opening and being able to stay open that are considered essential, crime in these few gathering places will rise because criminals have to go where there are potential victims. So the fact that you only have grocery stores and shopping and cars and things that are deemed essential, that is where things are going to start being hotspots. You have to remember, even though we're practicing social distancing, crowds bring out pickpockets, and you want to be extra aware of when you're shopping. Children being at home can be exposed to more things online and more online crimes. I actually am going to post a story about Zoom and how some Zoom accounts are getting hacked and pornography is being pumped into online through Zoom that I hadn't seen before. And obviously it hasn't been a big deal because Zoom has just blossomed in the last couple of weeks. Social distancing also makes us more vulnerable to scams as we are more socially isolated. We're talking to less people. Most of us as a society crave interaction. You know, I'm an extrovert, so not being around people and talking to people digitally is very foreign to me. I know I have some friends who are introverts and they're like, I've been preparing for this for a long time. And so not being around anyone is okay for them. But my big thing for you guys is to know that crime is not going to stop. Criminals are still going to be there. And today we're going to briefly talk about things that are happening right now. What we're going to cover: types of scams, robocalls, phishing emails, cure products, coronavirus testing scams, and then door-to-door. I'm going to go through a little bit of all of this with you guys, so that way I want to make you aware. Easiest one is robocalls. Robocalls are exploding. Simplest thing, don't answer your phone. If someone wants to talk to you, they'll leave a message. Program your friends and loved ones' phone numbers in your phone. And so if Jackie calls me, I see it's Jackie, I can answer the phone, or I can text her back and say, I'm in the middle of doing something. If I get a call from a number that I don't know, or if I get a call from an 800 number or a number that's out of state or out of the country, I'm not answering it. It's going to go to voicemail, and then I'm not worried about that. Very important, and this is so important. If you do answer a robocall, don't press any numbers. It will tell you scammers are using illegal robocalls to pitch everything from scam coronavirus treatments to work at home schemes to insurance to be able to do anything. The recording may say press a number that will let you speak or be removed. Don't do that, because if you do that, it allows them to know that it's a good number and they will be able to use that information to continue to do stuff with you. So out of all the things that are important for you guys with your phones today, stopping robocalls are the easiest ones to do by just making sure you're monitoring who's calling you, and you know, kind of looking at what's happening for your calls. Phishing emails are different. Watch for emails claiming to be from the CDC or experts saying they have information about the virus. So you know, if you want to go to the CDC or the WHO, you want to go directly to their website and not look at anything that's coming in from them. Don't respond to any text or emails about checks from the government. Obviously, if you're watching the news every day, you know this is not even passed yet. So don't fall for something that says there's a money ready for you, or they have your money, or they need to talk to you about your money. The details, hopefully tomorrow, everything will be passed, and then we'll know more then. Anyone who tells you you can get their money, you can get your money now, is a scammer. You cannot get money right now, and it's going to be a little bit of time before you see any money. So make sure, don't click on links from any sources you don't know. They could download a virus. A lot of emails are coming out right now, and you're getting emails that look very, very authentic from companies you may know and trust, and from people you may know and trust. Don't click on anything without talking to them first, because they could have been hacked. Email scams will also come from companies, and I'm going to show you one in a second. Biggest thing you can do for this is keep your virus protection updated and keep your operating system updated. Virus protection and operating systems in your phones are coming out with patches all the time. I'm going to show you really quick if you haven't seen this one yet. This looks like it came from Netflix. Very important. This was out actually on the CDC's website, or the FTC's website. It looks very official, and it says, please update your payment information from Netflix. This is a phishing scam. This looks like it came from them, and it's not. So make sure. In my other seminars that I do on online situations, I talk about making sure if you have somebody who's famous, who is sending you information, asking you to raise money for something, unless you're in direct contact with them, don't do it. There are so many fake internet accounts that are out there on Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat. Friends that I have who post every single day, people using their names and likenesses for people to be able to fish to try to get money from them. So phishing is a big deal. We get bombarded. Every person that has your email has sent you a message how they're dealing with COVID-19 and what steps they're taking. Please make sure you're careful when you're doing that.
So Rob, I am going to interrupt you real quick, because I'm so glad that you posted that, because I'm a huge Netflix person, like on the weekends, and I did not know that they were trying, that scam was out there. So thank you.
Yes, it's a big deal. Magic cures. There is no cure right now for the coronavirus. Please don't buy any products at all that tells you that they're going to cure this. Ignore online offers for vaccinations and home test kits. That's not happening. You have to drive somewhere. There are currently no vaccines, pills, potions, lotions, lozenges, or other prescriptions over the counter available to treat or cure COVID-19. Know who you're buying from. If you're buying anything online, online sellers may claim to have in-demand products. Price gouging has become a huge thing in every market as people become more and more desperate to buy things that they're running out of. People are taking advantage of them. I don't know how many of you saw the story about the guys, I want to say it was in Kentucky or Tennessee, where they went around and bought 18,000 bottles of hand sanitizer and put it in a storage space, and they were going to use that to sell to make profit, and the government came and seized that from them because they were trying to price gouge people on hand sanitizer. Again, I want to make sure I say this again. There is no cure at this time for the coronavirus. Please don't buy anything. I think it's the FTC's website that has a list of companies and people who have been already cited for trying to sell products that are saying they're going to cure this. So make sure you can go out and look at that, or the FDA.
So Rob, I had somebody just comment right now before you go further, and she said, this isn't a question, but rather a statement, that they keep getting emails from Amazon that their account will be closed if they don't update their credit card info. She said they just keep deleting them.
Yes, great. It's a scam. You might get the same thing. It's funny. I don't have an eBay account, and I get messages from eBay that my account is going to be suspended all the time. And I just ignore it. I get a text message on a weekly basis to somebody named Adrian, that Adrian has a prize waiting for them. Hey, Adrian, we have this prize waiting for you. And I just delete them. You don't want to talk, you don't want to respond to it. You don't want to click on it. You just want to delete it and know that it's not true. If you have a question about Amazon, call Amazon. call them directly and say, hey, I'm getting this message. I want you to know, make sure it's not me, and then go from there. But it's funny always for me when I get eBay, because I don't do eBay, and they're threatening to close down my eBay account. So again, just so you know, all of this started, you're gonna see the article next, with door-to-door scams for people going door-to-door to offer testing door-to-door. So you need to make sure you understand, first of all, don't answer your door for people you don't know. You have people coming around your neighborhood. Why are people coming around your neighborhood right now? Because they know you're at home. Door-to-door sales are going to get more and more. People know that people are there, so they're going to go into the neighborhoods. Make sure no one ever comes in your home for any reason that you don't know. At this time, the FDA has not authorized any test that's available for purchase, for testing yourself. And the FDA sees public health expanding to test safely. You have to show signs right now in Houston. You have to show signs. You have to do a medical interview before you're able to drive to a testing site. And you have to drive somewhere, and you have to be tested somewhere right now in Houston. And they're telling everyone when they put up where the sites are that you can't just drive there. You have to do a telecommute or a teleconference medical thing first. So please make sure this all started with this article. Police warn of scammers knocking on doors pretending to be from the CDC. That's what started all of this. And I did an article on this. The CDC is not putting people out to go door to door to conduct surveillance. People should be warned not to let anyone in their home. These are imposters. Now's the time at your house. You're spending time at home. Home Depot, Lowe's are still open. You can still order and pick up curbside from Best Buy. Lots of companies, electricians are still working. If you trust somebody, if you don't trust somebody to come to your home, reach out to me or Jackie, and I have trusted people. But now's the time to harden your castle. Harden your castle is a term we use in self-defense to say what we want to do. Steps to harden your castle at home. If you don't have a doorbell that allows you to see who's at your door and speak to them, now's a great time to do that. I don't make any money off of Ring or Nest or any of the doorbells that are out there. Get one so you can see. I can see in my phone and talk through my phone to anyone that's at my door, whether I'm home or not. And it saves me from going to the door if it's someone who is going door to door to sell something. I'm always busy and I'm always in a meeting. I'm never going to answer the door for somebody I don't know. You want to install outdoor or indoor cameras to help you see what's going on around your home. I have a great friend that works for Hawk Security, Rocky Martinez. If you need a security system or you need cameras installed, he is my go-to guy for that, and I would be more than happy to contact him or get you in touch with him. I trust him with my home, and I would trust him with my family's home. You want to keep your bushes trimmed to give you the best view outside of your door, especially if you have a camera where your camera is pointed. You want to be able to see if someone is at your door, that they don't have someone else with them who is hiding, that if you do open your door, that somebody can come in. Now, even for delivery drivers today, there are lots of scams you see with delivery drivers who are bad guys dressed up in a uniform. They can get a uniform and still be dressed up and still be a threat to you. So that's one we've talked about for a long time. This is a great time to reinforce your doors to make sure someone cannot kick them in. There are a lot of great products out there that can reinforce your door to help you to make it more secure, especially with the kids at home. Keep exterior and attached garage doors locked at all times. You have kids at home, they're outside playing, they're coming in and out, you're leaving your garage door open all of the time, but you're leaving your door from your garage to your house unlocked because your kids are coming in and out. Please monitor that. So we had a neighbor I drove by the other night, and because of this, it was 11 o'clock and their garage was still open. So I was just doing the neighborly thing, went up, knocked on the door and said, hey, I just wanted to make sure you knew your garage was open because I didn't want them to stay open all night long. And he was like, oh, thanks. The kids must have been out there and then forgot to close it. So think about your doors being unlocked all the time, and then just something to protect yourself, and always make a sweep and a double check of what's going on. The term social distancing for most people is new. It's a new term for us. If you've trained with us, social distancing is not a new term. We've been practicing social distancing in public for a long time. When you're in public, we have these concentric rings of your personal space, from close to your vehicle to social to critical to flight, that we talk about in all of our trainings, and making sure you are aware of people who are in your personal space bubble. And as they're getting closer and closer, this is really what social distancing is. We want to keep, we're told to keep people 6 feet apart in public. That's great. We don't want to stand next to somebody in the grocery store line or at the gas station, but we want to make sure we're watching what everyone else is doing. Biggest things I can tell you in public. Number one, get off your phone. Get off of your phone in public. Don't be on your phone. Keep your eyes up. Be scanning for things that don't look normal. Remember, there are fewer and fewer places you can go, and that's where the targets are going to happen. Be aware of your surroundings and what people are doing. Watch for cars who are circling the parking lot. This is a perfect example of somebody like you see in this picture, this car that's driving off to the right of this picture, who is looking for a victim who's not paying attention to be able to do a hit and run drive-by robbery. Keep a large personal space bubble, and as you're leaving places, make sure you have your keys ready, so that way you don't have to stop and look. So many of us now have ways to open our cars remotely. We don't really have to do that as much anymore, but still you want to make sure you're having that prepared so you're not stopping and looking down. Now, this is not all that we can do for in person, but we only have a certain amount of time to be able to do that. One of the other things that's really important is get a personal protection product that you're always willing to carry. Carry something for personal protection. Get training for whatever you choose, then train and train, and then train some more, and spend time training on whatever it is. We talk about 5 levels of personal protection. 1, Kubotan, stabbing device, goes on your keys, something you can have with you at all times. We used to tell people to put your car keys between their fingers. This is my car key now. So I have this now to where I can use this. Pepper spray, having pepper spray with you when you're walking through a parking lot. Can reach 6, 7 feet, stop someone, especially if you feel like you're being threatened. A stun gun, making sure stun guns are a great equalizer for size and strength. Having a stun gun that you can carry with you as you're traveling, as you're moving, is something that you should have or could have. A knife, if you choose to have a knife that you can carry and get to. And lastly, a firearm. Not everyone is willing to carry a firearm, and I understand that, but you should be willing to carry something with you at all times, especially now. But I want to say this again, no matter what you do, no matter what you carry, please train. Don't think you're going to buy it and then you're going to be proficient at it enough to deploy it in the case of an emergency.
Okay, Rob, I'm going to stop you for 1 second.
All right.
Because you are my firearms teacher, so you know how apprehensive I am.
Yes.
And I gave my stun gun to my niece because she works at a bar, and I was worried about her leaving work on her own, right? And so here is what I carry in my purse now.
little zapper?
No, it's a little knife.
Oh, it's a knife. I couldn't see it. It's not. You're not big enough on my screen. Nice.
Yeah.
So.
But I will tell you, I do need to do some training with it.
And there's mine. I carry it everywhere I go. I've donated a lot of these to TSA. All of my kids have something. My older ones have firearms. My younger ones have pepper spray, stun guns. I'll be more than happy, and I want to switch over this really quick. I'm here to help. We're here to help. We'll train you virtually because we can't get together. We'll advise you in any decisions you need to make. We have a network of great people to help you if you need something. We'll ship directly to you. If you need something, you can get on our website, buy something. We'll tell you what to buy, where to go. I'll send you a link. We'll keep you updated as the situation continues to change. Things are changing rapidly, and we're monitoring daily. Big things I can tell you. Follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube. We try to communicate through all of those on a regular basis. You can also sign up to get an email from us. If you like, the email that I sent out to my customers was what started this conversation with Jackie, warning them about door-to-door scammers. And so on a regular basis, we are not spamming you, we're not selling your information, we're not sending you a lot of stuff, we're just sending you important things that are happening. So if you want to get email from us, let one of us know. I want to just make sure in this time, the biggest thing for me is we want to see as many people as protected as possible and be safe, because we have at least another 8-9 days of being in lockdown. And then after that, who knows how much longer after that. And it may be longer than that, but I really think, it's going to be summer before our world is going to get back to normal. And in that meantime, we want to have everybody be safe. So that's all I had for you guys. I don't know, Jackie, if there were any other questions, or if anybody wants to ask any questions or anything, because I covered a lot and I tried to do it pretty quickly.
Yeah, I don't see any questions right now, but, as you talked about what kind of prompted us to put this webinar together, my mom posted, and so she was almost a victim. And thank goodness that she is pretty diligent, but she posted on her Facebook page and said, I just received an envelope from FedEx that contained a check for $1,300. However, I had no idea where it came from. When I called the phone number on it, it was a disconnected number. The group that says the check came from is based out of Toledo. The check says that it's from Huntington Bank. So I called Huntington Bank. I'm amazed that she found a Huntington Bank, frankly.
Me too.
And the lady said the people will do this in hopes of getting your account information when you deposit the check. So please pass this information along because I don't want anybody's account to get stolen.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I mean, you're going to see, I promise we'll see new and creative ways for people to try to rip people off. And we'll see new and creative ways that people are going to be, become a victim because they have to, because the world is so different right now. They have to be different. But
so one of our people on is saying, have you seen the product Door Devil, and is it as good as advertised for door reinforcement?
So let me see this. I've seen the product. I've never used the product, but I think that anything that gives you an opportunity to make your door harder to kick in is going to be worthwhile. I don't know how much the product cost. Can't imagine that it's too terribly expensive from what I've seen, but there are lots of products out on the market. I saw one on Shark Tank the other night that you step on it and a little piece comes up, and I think it was called Haven, Haven, and it comes up and it stops your door from being opened, and it goes down across the bottom of your door, or it can go on the top of your door and come down on the top of your door. So something like that is what you're thinking about. I actually have a stick that goes under that reinforces my door, that locks under the door handle to make it harder for somebody to kick it in. Now remember, if you're home, none of this is foolproof, but it's giving you time to prepare at home. Most people that I know don't walk around their house on a daily basis carrying a firearm or whatever they're going to use to protect themselves. Even if it's a baseball bat, they're not walking around their house with it in anticipation of somebody coming in and kicking the door in. The object of making your door harder to break down is to give you time to be able to prepare to meet whatever's doing that if you're there. If you come home and the door is already broken down, then don't go in, go back out, call 911, wait for the police to arrive before you go in. So great question.
Awesome.
Great question.
Awesome. So I'm not seeing any other questions right now. Does anybody have, let me just go ahead and ask one last time. Is there any other comments? Questions? I can't see the names of the people that are actually on. So if you guys have an opportunity, it would be great to kind of know, you know, are you in the Cypress area? Where are you watching this webinar from? Rob and I would be interested to know the reach of this, what we feel is a really important topic. So if you guys have a second, and you can jump into that chat box or that Q&A box on the webinar before we close down and just let us know where you're watching from, that would be greatly appreciated. And then let us know if you've ever trained with Robert. And if you're interested, again, I've said this 100 times, and if you're watching and you're a client of EFW or a friend of mine, you know that I've done multiple training sessions where we've had Robert in here to the studio, and he's worked with our clients. I highly recommend it, right? So right now, obviously, social distancing makes it hard for us to have Robert in here and actually doing some of the hand-to-hand stuff that we've done in the past. But I think using a platform like this, Rob, we could be creative and come up with something, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I can definitely do a lot of, I'm doing Zoom classes for my clients on a regular basis. And I mean, and then if somebody wants to know how to do something and I need to have somebody, I have people that I can demonstrate and videotape myself and demonstrate hands-on techniques with anybody if somebody needs something specific they're asking about. A lot of times I get specific questions or specific topics, and then I can address those individually.
So we've got a few things coming up. So Alice from Cyprus is joining us today. Terry is in Cyprus. She's joining us. Carol, who you've worked with in my studio and in her HOA, said they just got a text from their bank saying their account had been compromised and to click on the link. And when her husband called, the bank said it was a complete scam.
For sure.
We have Leslie joining us.
I'm sorry, your bank's going to call you. Your bank is going to call you. They're not going to send you an email. Your bank is going to call you and say, hey, this is the fraud department at your bank. We're calling about specific charges that don't look right. Is there something you did? And then make sure that you don't ever click on anything like that. Call your bank first.
So Leslie's joining us from Temple, Texas, and she said, I've participated in self-defense and parking lot safety classes with you. It's great information and hands-on classes. Thank you for all you do. We have Jill joining us from just down the road in one of the subdivisions here. Terry Edwards is saying great presentation. Pam and Rose are also here in Cyprus. And then Terry's asking, I have two questions, Robert. Terry's asking, what about checking your credit reports right now? And then Angie is asking, what about charity scams?
Yes.
When calls or texts come in, this is somebody else saying, when calls or texts come in, I believe are spam. I also block those callers, and especially texts that are coming from Deborah.
All right. Well, you got to worry about Deborah. But I didn't do charity scams today. I just didn't want to put too much information out there. I mean, there's so much, and that's what I said at the beginning. There's so many different ways that we can say scam. But yeah, you always want to look and see when you're looking at. Obviously, you want to know the place. Here's a big one. You all of a sudden all these GoFundMe pages pop up for help this person, help that person, this relief, that relief. Those you want to be wary of. There are so many reputable local places here in our city in our community in Cypress that needs your help or could use your help, easy to reach out to them. If you want to make a donation to somebody, go to Sci-Hope. Go to somebody like that that has the ability to make sure it goes right back into your community, and do something with them. Obviously, you can always look and make sure and double check anything you see, but I really didn't want to cover a whole lot of that. What was the other one, Jackie? Besides
Let's
charity,
see.
was there something else besides charity?
The text scams,
Oh yeah,
the bank account ones, we covered that.
yeah.
And Rose is asking, are you selling self-defense products from your location, from your store?
So depending on what it is, if we have it in stock, yes, we will, but we have a lot of stuff that we're out of stock in, and we're just telling people to go to our website. If you order something that's $25 or more, it's free shipping. So if you're close by and you want to come, I have some stuff in stock. I always keep some stuff, but there are some things that I'm sold out of right now that I'm not restocking, because we're just trying to push everybody online. Makes it easier for them. They're not worried about coming out. They're not worried about seeing anybody, and then it just gets shipped right to them. But
Awesome.
I'll meet somebody.
Okay. So Rose, I would say if you want to connect with Robert, I can also help you. The other topic, Robert, was credit report monitoring might be a good tool for people to have.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, depending on who you bank with now, so I get through Capital One. I use Capital One for business and I get my credit report through them. And it's always there and it doesn't cost me anything. Here's what I would not do. I would not pay somebody to go get your credit report monitored. You should be able to get it free in a lot of different places, but it's not a bad idea to double check it. You should be double checking it a couple of times a year just to make sure you don't have any fraud on there and it's too late.
Yeah.
But great question.
Awesome. Okay, well, I think that's wrapping everything up. I don't see anything else. I'm so glad that everybody joined us today.
Yeah, thanks.
And Robert, again, I can't thank you enough you're always so great about just jumping to my call. I appreciate that so much.
We love partnering with you guys.
Yeah. I can't wait for this thing to be done. I need my peeps back in the studio.
Yes.
And I'm ready to hit something. So I'm ready to have you in with your bag so we can actually get it done.
You and me both. Fortunately for me, I'm getting to hit a lot because I'm filming a lot of content. So I'm getting to beat up stuff on a regular basis. But, guys, I want to say thank you to Jackie because, we always get together and do stuff like this. And I want to thank everybody who logged on. And please, if you have other questions that come up, just reach out to me or Jackie, and I'll be more than happy to address anything that you have. That's what we're here for. That's what we want. We want to be your resource for the community when you think about self-defense.
Absolutely. Hey, Rob, my really last minute thought is you do some really great stuff on bullying as well. And so do you have something maybe planned further down the road for any of my clients whose grandchildren or something like that? I know it's hard to say because we don't know how long we're going to be, but.
Right. Yeah, that's my thing right now. To be honest, everything that we've had for March and April, we've canceled. I don't want to schedule anything right now until we get an all clear. Obviously, we have April 3rd as the stay at home, but I don't think that's going to be an all clear for us to start gathering big groups. So it will probably be May. I would guess before we start doing anything, but here's what I will do. I'll tell everybody, once we are able to start gathering people together, I'll make sure that it's out on our website. It's out on our social media. It'll get emailed out to everybody and everybody will be aware of what we're doing because everybody's going to want to gather together as we get through this.
Absolutely. Again, we appreciate your time, my friend. I look forward to doing this again. It was fun.
Yeah. Thanks you guys.
All right, guys, have a great day. Thank you.
Be safe.
Bye-bye.